Chinese Grand Prix 2025 race predictions. Hello everyone, this is my race predictions for the Chinese Grand Prix 2025. In this video, we will do the predictions for the Chinese Grand Prix in 2025. If you know what I mean. First of all, let's talk about the team that has the best race strategist, best race engineer, and the best drivers even in the grid. Ferrari. After having one of the worst starts to the campaign, to the year, Ferrari will be coming to Shanghai with a huge burden on the backs. Even the drivers will be coming with huge burdens and huge expectations on their back, because both of them combined, I think, scored 6 points, which is P7, which is below Williams, Aston Martin, and even Kick Sauber for that matter. So they will be looking to better themselves this time around. And since it's a sprint weekend, they will have more points on the table to grab. Both the drivers will be looking to score some big points over here. After all, and I think Ferrari will do a lot better in Shanghai because there's no rain involved. We'll get to see the true pace of the car. And Ferrari also have Lewis Hamilton in their team, the driver with the most number of wins in Shanghai. So it should be better for Ferrari this time around. But I don't see any of the Ferrari drivers in the podium, at least at this point of the season. I think there's a lot of upgrade packages that needs to be done before any of the driver gets some wins or even podiums. Talking about podiums, McLaren seems to have built a rocket ship. Even in the rain, it was like miles ahead of all the teams in the back. I think it should be much faster than what it was in Melbourne, because rain kind of like evens out the field. They even had the P1 and P2 secured in Melbourne, but also, like I said, Oscar spun around and I think it was lap 45, and he had to come down to P15, and he made his way through the back markers and secured P9. Talking about P2, Red Bull, Max Verstappen finished P2 in Melbourne, but there's a lot of speculation going around that there's no real pace in the car, and even Liam Lawson struggled with it. He DNF'd, but he was really not in the race at all. And Red Bull seems to be struggling with the car, just like they did in the second half of 2024 season. So this Shanghai Grand Prix will be an interesting one, because we'll get to see what the true pace of all the cars, including Red Bull, is, and two, what Liam Lawson can do with the car that he's been given that all the hype for him is going around and against Checo Perez. So Williams driver Alex Albon finished P5 in the Melbourne Grand Prix, which is a very good result. I think that's the best result for them since 2021, and the confidence seems to be a lot high in the team. So Shanghai should be really good for them as well. So let's do a top 10 predictions. Number 10, we have Williams driver Alex Albon. Alex Albon has been saying that the car seems to be different, seems to be better than 2023, 2024. Even the pre-season practice, even in Shanghai, even in Melbourne. So I won't be surprised to see him in P10 this time around. Number 9, we have Liam Lawson. Now Liam finished DNF in the last race. He seems to be struggling a lot in turning the car. I think he mentioned something about the car being oversteery. But I think he has to redeem himself, and at least a P9 finish won't be as bad and won't be as embarrassing as Helmut Marko would say. Number 8, we have Kimi Antonelli. Now having an excellent debut in P4 in Melbourne proves that the kid has talent. He also became the second youngest point scorer in the history of F1, which is mind-boggling. The kid's only 18 or 19. So it's going to be interesting. I think he is going to struggle a bit in this race and finish P8. Number 7, we have Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz for Williams, where everyone was excited to see how he would perform, but he had a reliability issue with the car. I think there was a problem with upshifting, and he crashed on the on the safety car lap. The true talent, the true pace of Williams will be seen in this race, and he'll finish P7, which is a very good result considering that he's in Williams now. Number 6, we have George Russell. Now finally the Mercedes car seems to agree with George Russell. I think they started developing the car around him as soon as the Lewis Hamilton move was announced. The car seems to be in full sync with him, and he got a cheeky little podium like he always does in Melbourne. So I think he will finish P6. I think this is one of the best starts to the season Mercedes had in the ground effect era. So it's going to be a huge confidence to everybody in the team, and with the new talented drivers that they have, I think they're going to do good this season. Let's do the top 5 real quick. For number 5, I have Lewis Hamilton. Now, he finished almost out of the points in Melbourne, but he had a very unfortunate race. There's a couple of strategy calls that didn't go for him, especially with the intermediate tires. But I think he will get a P5 this time around. There's a lot of expectations on him from all the T4C, including me, to perform, and I think he'll have a good sprint race, and on the main race, I think he'll finish P5. Number 4, Max Verstappen. I think we all know Max. Even if he has the second worst car in the grid, he will bring it up near the podium, as close to the podium as well. I think he almost had a P1 in Melbourne as well. If there was like extra 3 or 4 laps, I think he would have caught up to Lando Norris and secure the P1. So Max Verstappen will be very close to the podium, but finish P4. Number 3, Charles Leclerc, and he seems to like the package that he's been given with by Ferrari. Even in the initial half of the race in Melbourne, he was doing pretty well. Race happened and stuff, but I think he'll finish P3 this. Now, number 1 and 2, I'm keeping it the same as my last prediction. Number 2, we have Lando Norris. Now, Lando Norris seems like a changed man. He seems like a changed driver. He makes better radio calls. He seems calm on the radios. The strategy calls that he makes are really different, and you can see it on the race as well. And the killer instinct that he seemed to have lacked over the last few seasons, I think he's finally ready. He's finally developed the killer instinct, and he is a very big contender for the WDC this time around. But I'm keeping him for P2 just to humble him, just to keep him on his toes for the rest of the season. Number 1, we have Oscar Jack Piastri. Now, Oscar was in good pace to secure the P2 in Melbourne Grand Prix, but had he not spun around. But I think he will have a good race this time, and he will secure the P1. And I'm saying P1 Oscar Piastri, P2 Lando Norris, and P3 Charles Leclerc for both the races. Sprint and the main race, they'll have the same podium for the first time, I think, if I'm not wrong. That's all. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, lights out, and away we go.